Before we begin, I'm sitting down due to a disability of mine, but that's actually rather okay, because what I'm going to be showing you is a board game, a strategy board game. Now when you think of a strategy board game, your thoughts might lead you to chess, which is a fine game in its own. I myself play it. But the board game I'm going to be showing you actually predates chess. This board game is known as Go, or in Korean is known as Baduk, or in Chinese is known as Wei Qi. Now, this game originated in China 3,000 to 4,000 years ago, according to BritGo.org. It's a very simple game, but unlike chess, where the objective is to pin and force down the opponent's king into submission, Go has a much more simpler idea, which is just to gain and control the most amount of territories. Whereas one person might say that chess is akin to a battle, Go is much more similar to a war. Each individual piece does not do anything special on its own. All you need to play this game is a Goban, which can vary in size from a 9x9 board, a 13x13 board, or a 19x19 board. In comparison, chess is only an 8x8 board, so let that sink into your mind about the sheer scope of this size. However, there are only a few rules. I'm going to be demonstrating to you the rules on capturing, the rules on how to play, and the winning requirements for Go. Now, this game actually gained a high amount of popularization roughly around the time when Shonen Jump released a manga called Hikaru no Go. Roughly in 2004, Hikaru no Go managed to make it to America, and that spread a large popular burst of players in the game. Back onto rulings. All you have to do in order to play Go is to play a stone on the intersecting lines. Now, one of the rules to Go is capturing. In order to capture an opponent's stone, you surround it on all lifelines of it. And when you play on the last lifeline, you completely surround it, and you take the stone, you remove it from the board. Interestingly enough, my cat, also named Ko, this is where I got his name from. This rule, called Ko, means that even though this stone can be theoretically captured right now, I would have to wait a turn before I can capture that stone. Now there is a way to make sure that you live to where your opponent cannot capture you. Your opponent cannot play in a spot that instantly means capture unless they are going to be capturing a stone. Now, as shown up here, there are two spots right here and here that would have to be played simultaneously. Since black cannot do that, black cannot capture these stones up here. Now, as stated, the objective of this game is not to force and capture the most. It is not to force your opponent into a submission. Instead, it is to gain simply the most territory. To gain territory, you simply outline a spot or surround a spot with your stones to where there are no open gaps. And to make sure that these stones are not capturable, similar to up here. Now, what you do is after playing throughout the board, when both players decide the game is over, you pass. When you pass, you count all territories inside of your zone. This zone has 12 intersecting lines in it, meaning 12 points. This one over here has 9, meaning that there are 9 points here. And if you include up here, there are 2 points there. If we were to conclude that none of these stones count as eyes or territory, then everything else on this board does not count. Only what is on the inside here. There is a rule, though, that also helps white. Unlike in chess, for instance, where the opponent that moves first simply moves first and has advantage, and the opponent that moves second does not, this board game actually gives points to the person that plays second. White generally receives 6.5. Now what that means, the reason why for the 0.5 is so that there cannot be a tie in the game. So even at the lowest point, white will receive 0.5 points to make sure that a tie is not possible. So if we were to conclude this game, black would have 12 points, white would have 9, 11, and then plus the additional 6.5, bringing it to 17.5. White would win this game. In conclusion, all that is needed to play Go are the amount of stones required to play the full game, a board in which you can play on, and the ability to count out how many zones are in complete territory of yours. That is all to my demonstration. I hope you enjoy Go as much as I do. Thank you.